in the youth, Pan-Africanism is real and it's strong. And there's
Yeah, we back. Now today's gonna be a quick video. It's gonna be a follow-up video to the exclusive that I dropped on Patreon earlier today entitled General Langley Responds to Ibrahim Traore. And in that video, I was reacting to General Langley taking a trip to Kenya, where he did an interview on some local media, and he addressed a series of topics, mainly the international scandal that's been going on between him and the captain, originally starting when he testified to the Senate, alluding to the fact that he believes that Captain Ibrahim Traore may be involved in some corruption under the table, enriching himself at the expense of the population. And of course, the captain responded to him in an interview. I reacted to that a while back. As you can see, that video did like 20,000 views in less than a day, right? Went crazy. Captain basically called him a liar, said he should be ashamed of himself as a black man for telling stories and making false claims. And in this interview, General Langley responded to those allegations. So sign up for the Patreon, link in the description, pin comment at the top for my reaction, my thoughts, and my commentary on that situation. Join the Patreon family. You don't want to miss out. Over 20 exclusive videos on the Patreon that have never been uploaded to YouTube. Go join the Patreon, check it out. Now in this video, I'm going to be responding or reacting to another segment of the interview where Langley not only acknowledged Pan-Africanism, but actually acknowledged that it's very strong among the youth. It's active, it's real, and it resonates heavily among the youth. And that's probably why he received so much backlash for his statements that he made against the captain, right? His statements reverberated across the world, and you had marches and you had events and everybody from all different parts of the black world standing in solidarity with the captain in response to the statements that he made when he testified in front of the Senate. So Langley himself, he got a taste of how real Pan-Africanism is because his statements caused international backlash where he was damn near seen as persona non grata on the continent. So now he was forced to backtrack on his statements. In the interview, he actually acknowledged the fact that it's a lot of great initiatives being taken in Burkina Faso, acknowledged the fact that the captain is making some good moves as a leader of his nation, and he acknowledged the sovereignty of Burkina Faso. And it's because of the Pan-Africanists taking out our belt and spanking them, right? That's exactly why he did that. Like I mentioned before, it's really only the Pan-Africanists making moves and really, making waves right now. The rest of y'all really ain't doing nothing, to be honest. And if you remember the article that came out from the Council on Foreign Relations, that major United States foreign policy think tank, they also acknowledge Pan-Africanism by name. So like I said, man, the adversary, he got Pan-Africanism on his target. And when it comes to international politics, international affairs, currently right now, it's the Pan-Africanists that's leading the charge and setting the trends, if you want to be real. And if you remember, y'all remember African Stream, that major platform that was actually taken down by the United States government, accusing them of collaborating with Russia, right? Even Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State at the time, acknowledged Pan-Africanism by name.
Now, according to the outlet's website, African Stream is, and I quote, a Pan-African digital media organization based exclusively on social media platforms, focusing on giving a voice to all Africans both at home and abroad.
All right, we back. So in the past year, the ideology of Pan-Africanism has been acknowledged by Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. It's been acknowledged by the Council on Foreign Relations, which, as we know, a lot of high-ranking members on the Council on Foreign Relations, including high-ranking government officials, CIA directors, national security advisors, Wall Street bankers, CEOs of major companies, those who work in the Federal Reserve, hedge fund managers, private equity executives, media, journalists, high-ranking members of the media. Council on Foreign Relations also acknowledged Pan-Africanism by name. And now we have 4-star General Michael Langley acknowledging Pan-Africanism by name. And to me, it makes sense why in recent years, you've seen the attacks against Pan-Africanism rise and rise. You see people just attacking Pan-Africanism for no reason, right? The Pan-Africanists minding their business and they just be attacking us for no reason. And I understand why. It's because we are the only ones that matter. When it comes to international affairs, we are the only ones shaking the table. We are the only ones disrupting the narrative. We are the only ones going against the grain. There is no other political ideology within the black world that is really seen as a threat, because the rest of y'all are either trying to assimilate or trying to join the power structure. The Pan-Africanists are the only ones attacking the foundation of the power structure. That's why the ideology is being acknowledged by the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, the former Secretary of State. That's why it's being acknowledged by the Council on Foreign Relations. That's why it's now being acknowledged by 4-star General Michael Langley, because we are the only ones that matter. We are the only ones making moves and making waves. The rest of y'all really ain't making no noise, right? The rest of y'all ain't making no noise. That's why our platforms are being targeted and shut down, like African Stream. That's why my platform just last month was demonetized for no reason. It's because when it comes to us, we are actually shaking the table. We are actually deconstructing the propaganda. It's because when it comes to us, our geopolitical objectives stands in direct opposition to the power structure. We are a direct threat. We stand in direct opposition. And you can see just by General Michael Langley having to walk back his statements, having to backtrack his statements, that shows that Pan-Africanism, when it comes to international affairs, we are now an international force. We can now affect international policy, military policy, foreign policy. We have 4-star generals of major armies having to backtrack their statements and cop pleas, because like I said, Pan-Africanism, we are the only ones that matter. We are the ones leading the charge. We're on the front lines. The rest of y'all get behind us. The rest of y'all stand back. And it doesn't matter how much I try to discredit it or downplay it. At the end of the day, it's a reason why the Secretary of State, it's a reason why the Council on Foreign Relations, it's a reason why 4-star General Michael Langley, Supreme Commander of United States Africa Command, has to acknowledge the movement by name. He has to acknowledge the ideology by name, because the ideology is making noise. The ideology is making waves. The ideology can galvanize the entire black world across the globe. And when the power structure directly acknowledges you by name and singles you out, that means you are now influencing the landscape. You are now a force to be acknowledged in the landscape when it comes to international affairs and politics. You see, when it comes to the power structure, for example, they believe in having access to our resources for dirt cheap at a discount. The Pan-Africanists, we believe in the direct opposite. We believe in taking control and harnessing the value of our resources for our own collective benefit, right? When it comes to the power structure, they believe that we should format our political systems based on what they deem to be best for us. When it comes to the Pan-Africanists, we believe in formatting our governments in whatever is going to be most beneficial to our collective uplift, even if that comes at the expense of the power structure. When it comes to the power structure, they believe in having military bases and drone operations and security partnerships all over the continent. We believe in removing the foreign military bases. We believe in forming defense coalitions amongst each other. That's what we believe in. So everything we believe in, they believe in the direct opposite. That's why we are deemed as a threat, and the rest of y'all, they don't care about y'all. They're not talking about y'all. We're the only ones that matter. We're the only game in town. I'm sorry to tell you, when it comes to the black world, international affairs, the Pan-Africanists, we run the block right now. All right. We run the block. All right. This our block. And that's what it is. That's why y'all can't keep Pan-Africanism out y'all mouth. Right. Every chance y'all get, y'all try to discredit it, because y'all know we the ones running it right now. Whether you like it or not, we the ones on top right now. We the ones leading the charge. We the ones on the front line. It is what it is, man. The rest of y'all get in the back, sit in the back seat. Also, when it comes to the power structure, I believe that the place where we do the most damage is when it comes to the media and their fake narratives, right? When the media comes with their prepackaged narratives, it's the Pan-Africanists coming and debunking them, coming and deconstructing them, exposing them for their hypocrisy and the lies. And you can see it with General Michael Langley. Listen, the Pan-Africanists forced General Michael Langley to lean back, right? Like that song by Fat Joe, lean back, lean back. We made General Michael Langley lean back, right? Yeah, we made him lean back and cop please. He had that boy talking about, oh yeah, it's a lot of great things happening in Burkina Faso. He had to pay homage to the captain. After trying to discredit the captain, he had to come back and pay homage to the captain, because the Pan-Africanists lit a fire under his behind. Anyways, man, not wasting no time. Let me jump into that clip of General Michael Langley, speaking on the ideology. Run the clip. I'll be right back.
In 2050, the largest workforce on the globe is going to come out of the continent of Africa. The youth need hope. They need peace and stability so they can hit their potentials. That's a long-range goal of AFRICOM as we look to help these countries set those conditions for stability and security so prosperity can be presented to all the populations and the youth. Pan-Africanism is real and it's strong, and there's an opportunity to come up on the global stage, and this continent can do it. That's what we really envision. In the youth, Pan-Africanism is real and it's strong, and there's...
All right, we back. Now, if you notice that one thing that Langley said is that in 2050, he made a mention of how the African population is going to be booming. Like I told you, the black population around the world is going to be booming, right? It's going to be booming. Meanwhile, while these other populations is dying out and dwindling, our population is going to be booming and very young and active and vibrant. That's why now is the time to make certain moves to secure our future, because we're going to have a lot of mouths to feed. Now, I'm not going to waste too much time on Langley talking about we need to bring peace and stability to the African youth. Listen, the United States State Department, which you are an agent of the United States State Department, you are an agent of the Pentagon, their interests, they don't care about the prosperity and security of the African youth. No, they don't. They care about the prosperity and the security of their economic interests. When it comes to the African youth, they don't give a damn. The African youth can drop dead for all they care. They care about securing their prosperity and their economic objectives for the next however many decades. They don't care about the African youth, but of course they got to dress it up and say that we are here to help out the African youth and things like that. No, you're not. You're not investing all these taxpayer dollars simply because you want to help the African youth. That is what you tell your citizens, right? You tell your citizens who don't know any better that we are over there helping out the African youth, and they believe that garbage. But in reality, you're over there securing access to minerals. You're over there influencing governments. You're over there affecting regime change. That's what you're doing. But of course, when the cameras are rolling, you got to tell us we are over there trying to secure prosperity for the African youth, yada, yada, yada. But in reality, we already know what it is. And this is why they hate the Pan-Africanists, because the Pan-Africanists, we get on the microphone and we challenge these debunked narratives. We challenge these fake narratives. We're the only ones doing it. The rest of y'all believe the garbage. Y'all believe it. When it comes to the Pan-Africanists, we're the only ones standing up and saying, no, bro, you're a liar. We don't believe you. And when it comes to the Pan-Africanists, they cannot use divide and conquer strategy against us. See, the rest of y'all a bunch of primitive barbarians. The adversary come around, use divide and conquer against you, and you fall victim like an idiot. When it comes to the Pan-Africanists, we have risen to a higher level of intellectual capacity. So divide and conquer strategy does not work against us. See, when it comes to y'all, the adversary just come around and say, hey, listen, that guy over there, that tribe over there, that ethnic group over there, you know what they said about you? They said you a bum. They said you ugly. And you know what happens? You immediately get distracted, you immediately get thrown off course, and then you take your target off the adversary and then begin bickering amongst each other, fighting amongst each other like a bunch of idiots, right? When it comes to the Pan-Africanists, we don't fall victim to divide and conquer strategy. We don't fall victim. We tell the adversary, listen, go take a hike. Go jump off a cliff. We don't believe you. Get out of here. Trying to stoke division. When it comes to y'all fall victim to the traps of the enemy. That's why you're not a threat. And that's the reality. That's why I don't really care about anyone who stands in opposition to Pan-Africanism, because I know your movement is inferior to ours. Your movement is less powerful than ours. Your movement has no leverage in the international landscape. We are the premier ideology in the black world. The rest of y'all take a backseat. Y'all a bunch of bench riders. It is what it is. And today, listen, it's been confirmed. The Pan-Africanists made a 4-star general of the United States Marines take a knee. We made that boy take a knee. We made that boy pay homage and show respect. And that's a fact. So it is what it is. But anyways, man, like I said, join that Patreon. Join the Patreon family. Check out the latest video I just dropped entitled General Langley Responds to Ibrahim Traore, and get my thoughts and my commentary on that situation. Langley responded to the captain after the captain responded to him. So yeah, go check that video out, as well as the other 23 other videos on the Patreon. Like I said, the price of the Patreon is like the price of a sandwich at the deli, man. Go join the Patreon, show love to the family, show love to the movement. It's your boy Neferkari the Saline, back in the building, yes indeed. Album out now, Sahel 1816. Go to my homepage, go to my playlist section, enjoy the album, and I'm gone. Peace.
Told me she loved me and said that it's real. So independent, ain't signing no deal. Feel like a king and I'm up at Cap Henry. I'm in the citadel, top of the hill. Trying to run up and we let off a cannon. Secret location, I'm keeping it sealed. You ain't retaliate, Franco Medina. Came to the country and he got killed. You ain't retaliate, Rafi and Mans. Thought you was law, thought you was real. Didn't even want to come pick up the body. Had your man locked up, he died in the cell. Up at the palace, I'm throwing a party. Right on the south and I'm giving them hell. And my little shorty, she looking exotic. African features, she casting a spell. Run to the check like I work on my fitness. Wake up each morning and handle my business. Said that she love me, she want my genetics. Wanna get married and make it official. Wanna get married and have all my babies. Up in the city, I'm riding Mercedes. Up in the city, they treat me like royalty. Feeling like Dolph, talking about lords. Spreading my wings and I had to get fly. Up in the top, an incredible vibe. Came from the bottom, I'm up in the sky. Everyone look and said, baby, you fine. Wake up each morning and handle my business. They just be talking, you see me, I live it. Ride on my enemies, sounding like thunder. 1804, got that shit in my spirit. 1804, when I step in the building. 1804, and that's word of my mother. Rock my women and die for my brother. Never gon' fold when I'm deep under pressure. Tell them we back and they better accept it. Move like a king, every step is divine. Ride on my enemies with no exception. Taking revenge and I'm taking what's mine. Pour up a drink and it's time that we toast. Watching my back, keep my enemies close. Only the family, I stick with my brothers. Cannon's position outside of the coast. Heavy artillery for the protection. Move like a general, stick to the code. Feel like a king when I'm up in the north. Beautiful women, they trying to get chose. Launch an invasion all over the south. Capture the capital with all my woes. Look at my energy and my demeanor. Dripping that ice and that's head to my toes. Lately I'm flexing all on the Americans. Flexing my muscle on missing my road. Just got a carriage just coming from London. Boy, that shit cash, I ain't taking no loans. Boy, that shit cash, that's fresh on the boat. Enemy know I got millions in gold. Enemy know I got choppers and cannons. How did I do it? They can't understand it. How did I do it? It's cause I'm relentless. Call me King Harry, my name is cemented. Call me King Harry, I'm up in the palace. Call me King Harry, I'm raising the status.